You were all in the Northwind Library, one of the, if not the biggest library in all of Waydora, as Calliope just already knows. Not only were you there, but you were in the restricted section, also, as Calliope already knows. The second time she's been back there, the first time you guys have been there, upon lifting up the scrolls, the ancient text scrolls that had ancient secrets about Waydora itself, seemed to have triggered something in the distance, which you all realized were all the traps that were disenchanted by Cornelius, the court wizard, who was escorting you guys down there. So the traps got re-established. You guys made your way back through the trap section and had to actually go do the puzzle. So you're about halfway through the puzzle when one of the other traps, which is in the form of a hellfire engine, attacked, came barreling through the walls, destroyed half the place, and started just rolling onto the trapped tiles. Poison gas getting thrown everywhere. You guys were able to defeat the hellfire engine without too much trouble, and you made it out of the library with a very disgruntled court wizard, Cornelius, who broke off, went back to the high court. You guys went back off to the manor. You sent a message to Xander saying that you guys have a way to get the Genesis. He was like, how? And you were like, ignored. You stopped by the shop, Seductive Silks, and saw your buddy, his name, and you bought some warm clothing for some snowy mountains that you're about to visit in the likes of Vori, which in your findings in the restricted section is nearly impossible, if not impossible, to get to by land or sea. You've never heard of anyone who's gotten there by land or sea. And so you bought some garbs, got some warm robes, went back to the manor for the night, and in the middle of the night, Anya woke up thinking that she was having another nightmare, but instead was greeted with the friendly sight of her little obsidian black dragon hatching from the egg of whence it came. And that is where we will pick up to start. So, little black dragon. Before we start there, by the way, you each will get 300 XP for completing the puzzle. So go ahead and mark that down. That was the reckless steps in Tasha's book, whatever. So each of you get 300. Job well done. Even though the other half of it was pretty much triggered, I still give you some XP for it. So go ahead and mark that down, and we find ourselves back in the manor. I believe only Anya is being awoken from this.
To be fair, we didn't trigger the puzzle. The Hellfire engine did, but...
It was a healthy mix, but you're right.
Well, some of us more than others, but that's fine.
True.
Okay, so, I think I was a little taken aback and I didn't know what to say last time. I know what to say now. I know what to say with the dragon. Okay, so do I get the vibe, like, the dragon, I can talk to the dragon can talk to me. Are we writing that even newborn dragons are like newborn babies and can't really communicate? How are we?
That's a good question. You're not sure yet. I mean, start the conversation and find out. You did, the dragon last episode did respond to you and say, I think he just said hello.
Sorry.
And it is a male dragon.
Okay.
Male obsidian dragon.
Okay. And you said I felt some, like, nostalgia when I was looking at the egg, right?
Yep.
Okay. And black obsidian dragons specialize in acid?
Correct.
Okay.
So statistically speaking, once you level it up, its breath attack will be acid. I also believe it has resistance to acid at some point. But
Okay.
have you actually leveled up to the to
Yes.
level 1 dragon? Okay. Cool.
Yes. Yep. Okay. Um. So this dragon's like on the floor, like
Yeah, kind of
trying to.
gaining its bearings. Once in a while, it flaps its wings a couple times, lets out a caw, if you will. Not screaming or anything, but what woke you up was its scratching. It was kind of scratching on the door and then kind of scratching on your bedpost.
Okay.
And it looks up at you.
All right. I will go and approach it, and I'm gonna kind of put my hand out, and I'm gonna say, "It's all right."
You're saying that in Draconic?
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Okay.
For like the dragon to like jump up in my hand.
Okay, roll animal handling.
It's my new dice tray. I'm sorry, my decorative tray.
According to Target. It was only 99 cents.
16 plus 24, 23.
16 plus 23. Okay, so we're talking 39.
Casual.
No.
Yeah.
So 23 total.
Easy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Had to give you a hard time. Yeah, so you reach your hand out. It blinks and flinches real quick. Cocks its head curiously at you. And then looks up at you and makes eye contact for the first time. Rubs its head into your hand, and you're kind of taken aback by the smoothness of it very similar to how the egg itself felt, but just a little bit of goo from its recent hatching. A little bit of goo.
So it just rubbed up against me, so I'll like lower my hand so he can walk up into my hand, and then kind of like pick him up and like pet him and look at him.
Okay. He's actually a bit bigger than that. I should describe his size is probably I keep thinking of Jasper. Probably twice the size as Jasper, the cat. So
Oh my
we're
God.
talking.
How big was this egg that I was carrying around?
It was. I mean, it was like a decent
Like
egg,
Boa.
and as it hatched, with its wingspan and everything, about 1.5 Jaspers. So 1.5 floofy cats.
Okay. All right. Then I'll just like kind of pet it, and
Yeah, it's not like a pseudo
I'll
dragon.
say, okay. So I'll say, I don't know how you came into my possession, but you feel familiar. You reminds me of my mother. And so I shall name you Tiernan, which was her father's name, and would have been my name had I been a boy. And I vow to you, Tiernan, that no harm will come to you so long as you are in my possession. And I will train you in all the ways that I know how.
Okay. It's just kind of fumbling around, but still maintaining eye contact with you, still getting its bearings for the first time, and Tiernan, and it tries to. It goes through a couple instances, but the only word it says back to you is Tiernan. Gives
And
you
then I'm
like a
gonna
slow
find
blink.
some food for it. I'm gonna find some food. I'll slow blink back. Maybe they're like cats, where you do the slow blink to them
Mm-hmm.
to communicate that you're a safe person.
Yeah.
And then I'll pull out some food for him.
It chitters a bit He chitters a little bit, and yeah, you pull out some whatever food you have. You just feeding it out of your hand?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It takes a couple bites. I'll let you keep your animal handling roll for this scene. Seems to like your food. Is that all you want to do with it?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. I don't know that I want to like. I mean, I feel like I'm the mom, but I don't know that Aine would be like, yeah, call me mom. So I don't know.
Right. Tiernan.
Yeah, no, we're Tiernan. Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. Tiernan kind of hops around a bit after eating. You spend some time just petting it and just kind of watching it explore the room with cracks a smile on your face as you watch it kind of just explore a little bit. Anya being in a room by herself, not really worrying about anyone else judging her, and still kind of groggy because you were woken up abruptly from this loud scratching noise, but Tiernan, after a bit of exploring, crawls under your bed and just kind of curls up, hiding itself under its own wings. And you take that as the sign to go back to sleep, as you assume it's done eating, done hopping around. This probably goes on for about 40 minutes, 45.
I might have to get like a carrier, like a baby carrier.
Anya running into battle with just a baby dragon strapped to her fucking chest.
It's giving pregnant Valdric vibes.
Yeah.
It's like Tanjiro.
It's like Tanjiro! I put you in a box on my back and we will go and fight together!
Baldric would.
Well, I'll lean
Anya.
down under the bed and I'll say, you can sleep up. It's probably more comfortable up here. You can sleep up here in Draconic.
It doesn't respond.
Okay.
Pick
Still.
that baby's ass up. Do it all. Just
Unless the baby bites.
Rhea, what are you doing?
I like to think I would have cleaned off like the goo and like I would have.
Yeah, in that span of time,
Yeah.
while you're kind of watching it explore, as it hops near you, once from time to time, you'll wipe it, and then it'll hop away and not really give in. So you kind of have to like time it right, and eventually, after 3 or 4 wipes, you got the goo off, and yeah, you go back to sleep. Tiernan snoring away underneath your bed, and you will all come to consciousness the next morning.
Please shouldn't wake us up for that.
I'm having a moment with my dragon. If my dragon's like me, my dragon's gonna Tierdan's gonna need to warm up, learn to trust everyone.
That's true.
So.
Solara. From
What?
my bed, mind you.
Last
What?
night as I was going to sleep, I watched you go to sleep and I thought you were looking at me, but I don't think you were looking at me. I think you kind of sleep with your eyes open. Has anyone ever told you that?
I think you're just making that up, Baldric.
No?
There's no way I sleep with my eyes open.
I didn't know there was one eye that was looking right at me.
Why were you watching her sleep?
I said psst to you, and you didn't respond to me. Your breathing was very slow.
Baldric's background music as she's having this conversation.
Okay. Well,
I'm
then
sorry.
I think you were just saying things. I think,
know.
there's no way.
I think, if you ever happen to sleep with Gabe, just something that maybe you should let him know. That you sleep with one eye open. Literally. Just fine.
For all of our protection, if anything,
Mhm.
if I did that, you know.
Exactly. Really, really keeping an eye on things, making sure that no detail goes amiss at all.
Anyways, let's just forget about that.
Amazing stuff. All right. At which point, Anya kind of, I guess, maybe finds her way into your room, ending the conversation, and the four of you are now together. And Anya, do you bring
the dragon with you?
Do you bring the dragon with you?
Yeah, I'll
Big talking point this morning.
yeah. I'll just walk in and say, "Hey guys, it's my dragon hatch."
The bar
Like,
music
oh
continues.
my.
Oh,
It did. It's much bigger
Bigger
than.
than I thought it was.
I don't
gonna
really
be.
know how he or she fit in that egg. Oh
This
my
is
god.
Tiernan.
I'm gonna say hello and draconic to it because I can.
I apologize for the terrible timing. I have to go to the bathroom so bad. You guys continue this conversation, okay? Don't mind me.
Hello.
I'm gonna ask that Baldric or Clyde. I'm gonna be like, you're gonna have to teach me some draconic. You're gonna have to. I'm gonna be like roll. I'll be like, can I roll to be learning catchphrases in it? I gotta be good with the dragon.
I
like,
think.
you know.
Oh, Calliope would look at you so excited and go, I would love to teach you.
Thank you.
Whipping out a book going, here.
what's his name again?
Tiernan.
Tiernan.
Tiernan. Tiernan.
I'm your auntie Valdric. I don't speak dragon, but you're very cute.
Well done, dragon.
I think I'd telepathically, because I've got a telepathic link, so I would telepathically translate.
You're so
Oh yeah,
sweet.
this was great timing, Rhea. This was great timing.
Rhea just vibes.
Why was
She's
that?
like, this is my favorite thing, actually, is just this.
Mojo's laid out right behind you, and there's a big lanky boy.
I know, as soon as you started describing the size, Mojo hopped into the room and I was like, Mojo size.
I looked at him and I was like, you should just scoop him
Clearly.
up, show him off. He is the size.
I'm so sorry, ladies. What did I miss?
How dare you?
What the heck?
I just downed an entire coffee, so.
I almost made coffee at 7 o'clock at night. And then the
Baldric's
one.
gonna take one of her little jingle bells and be like,
Little baby like a little bell. Do you like a little
I
bell toy,
don't
little
think.
baby?
Don't put the bell on my dragon.
I'm just, maybe a little
Please don't get attacked by the dragon, Baldric.
little baby.
On the third swipe, its talon gets caught in the one of the little holes of the bell, and it now has a bell stuck in his talon, and it doesn't freak out like a cat, but it just kind of like.
I want to hold my hand out for the dragon to sniff it like you would like a dog that you just met.
Roll animal handling.
Not to get bit by a dragon.
Oh yeah, I asked Calliope to teach me draconic. So I can I don't know if there's a role for that. I can do that during a long rest or something, but
Just to learn Draconic.
yeah, or just to
the
teach me
whole
not
language.
the whole thing, but just enough to be able to talk with this
Whole
dragon's
language.
part of the gang.
Okay.
Just
Roll the
teach me some
14.
phrases,
Okay.
generic phrases.
Noted.
Okay, thank you.
Calliope, with your 14.
I want him to sniff my hand.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Oh.
Kind of spits up a little bit, and you take 3 acid damage.
That's a little mean.
Classic.
But okay.
You pull back immediately
I
as
just
your
want to be your friend.
hand just kind of burns, and you're trying to shake it off, and you're getting flashbacks of the Hellfire engine, and you're just kind of trying to wipe it off with any rag in the vicinity, and you take the corner of the bed spread and just start wiping off the acid, and starts burning the bedspread a little bit. But Anya, I guess how do you want to flavor the acid? So what I did for my dragon rider, he had red acid, So, like, what color acid do you want this dragon to have?
Picturing green, and like bright green eyes, and like the acid just matches the eyes exactly.
Okay. Like neon green. Like my
Yeah.
bag back there.
Like Leo's green.
Okay. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, you get some green sludge on you, Calliope, and you're wiping it off. It doesn't like hiss or anything, it just goes bleh, and just kind of upchucks a little bit.
I will be your friend, little dragon. It's
I'm
fine.
gonna telepathically say, I get the inclination to be testy, but we do have to work on that.
Valdrick is not going to attempt to learn any Draconic and is instead just going to treat this dragon like I would any baby. They're just so sweet and cute. Look at your little face. Look at the pointy little fangs.
Jingle.
He looks so scary. Yeah, I'd reach over there and pull that off, but I like my skin intact.
It does.
I like
On
it.
one of them, the bell kind of flops off and
That's good.
clings to the ground.
That's good. Well, another man-eater to add to the party of man-eaters. I think that this is very fitting. Will he stay this size forever?
I hope not, but I don't know.
Roll,
Going to be a very big dragon.
who is
Yeah, would I gain knowledge, like dragon knowledge, now that I'm a dragon rider?
who is proficient in Arcana? Has a
I am.
proficiency in Arcana.
Me.
Me.
I'm assuming Calliope as well. So everyone
Yeah.
but Solara? Sorry, Solara. Everyone but Solara
Not
can
very smart.
go ahead and roll a Arcana check.
Oh god.
I don't need smarts when
Yeah.
I have Calimbor.
And medicinal use, yes. Calliope.
19.
19 also.
22.
Okay. Why was I making this roll? Dragons. You all know that dragons come in many shapes and sizes. Obviously, the more they, the older they get, the bigger they grow, and you don't have much knowledge on like domesticated dragons except for Valdrick. Valdrick, you've heard of the Githyanki and how they are basically pirates.
Looking motherfuckers.
Yes, yeah, it's Lae'zel in Baldur's Gate 3. Basically are pirates of the astral plane, and they ride dragons, particularly red dragons. And you know that you've heard stories, and maybe you've heard a couple of songs, and maybe you've written a few yourself of dragon riders, and you've really only heard of Githyanki being the kind of beings that could tame a dragon, and such dragons that are domesticated in this way don't really grow to full size. They're not like in the wild. Think like a house cat compared to a panther, like a black panther. Still have that feral instinct upon them, but can take commands.
Ferocious.
Ferocious, but not, they don't grow to be these huge dragons, but...
Are you going to kill any enemies? I know you are. You don't even have to be big for that. Your mommy's gonna kill them, and then you're gonna just disintegrate them with your little acid. Ah, that's good.
Do you share any of that information with the group?
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Nothing. Have any of you heard of Githyanki? Doesn't really matter. They're really fucking ugly. Weird noses, but they ride the dragons in the astral plane. Red dragons mostly. This one isn't going to grow that big, but if we have to get rid of evidence, little acid, disintegrate them altogether. I don't know how we're gonna get you into any inns. But luckily, Auntie Valdrick has very, very high charisma and will convince everyone that you're just a man in a dragon suit.
Cast invisibility on it.
Or cast invisibility on you. Isn't that right?
We will make sure the dragon gets in there.
Look at your little eyes. Look at them. You're so scary. Yes.
Oh, I'm at Ani just deadpanned holding the dragon. Like, why?
She's like, anyways.
Time to move on.
Please stop cooing at the dragon.
Look, every day he's gonna get a certain amount of coos from everybody.
So
'cause
someone gave you this dragon. I keep thinking about that and circling back around to the fact that someone said, this egg, Anya.
Correct. Which is why, unfortunately, we have to keep traveling with Xander, because you don't just give out dragon eggs to people.
And you came from the Feywilds, didn't you? Didn't you, you sweet little thing? Were any pieces of egg left behind?
I feel like I would have kept it kind of like how I keep all of Rosalie's baby teeth.
I would have assumed he also.
Anya
ate
finds
it,
a
so
Ziploc
Valdrick would've
bag.
Just... Anya finds a Ziploc bag, just keeps it in her pocket.
Hides it with my underwear.
He'll never find it here.
I'll never look there.
I so wanted to ask you to describe Anya's underwear, but I felt that inappropriate, so. I'll
Please
ask you later.
don't.
I can describe Anya's
So,
underwear.
Yeah. Please don't.
changing gears real quick, going back to how you're gonna like
Back that
disguise it in taverns and everything. Charlotte, statistically speaking, at level 5, it does gain the ability to shape change into a humanoid. Any shape
Nice.
any type of, any look of humanoid you want. But it only can shape change into that. It can't like go in and out of like a tiefling or orc, whatever. It's once you pick it, that's it.
Okay.
But that's level 5, so good little ways to go till you get there. For now, it's just a little dragon. It's just a little guy. What next, ladies? Solara, you spoke of wanting to shop a little bit more. Also, keep in mind, in the same shopping vein, you, I don't know what your camping supplies are at, but you
I have that one spell we were using.
Okay,
The one that creates food and water. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah, and for the past like 10, 11 weeks, you haven't had to buy camping supplies. They've been provided for you since, you basically saved the whole city. But
No big
heading out, if you're planning to travel, might not be a bad idea. But
We must get our horses.
yes, there are horses to gather. There are locations to travel
yeah.
to,
Quickly.
and Solara has some shopping to do.
Yes, I just need to go and buy a gem worth at least 1,000 gold coin.
You
yeah,
have
that's-
1,000 gold coins?
I made a lot of money betting on Anya. And I have a 500
You're
gold
welcome.
coin loan from the capital currently. And if I'm successful with it, which I really wasn't going to use it for what they thought I was going to use it for, so we'll see. Worst case, I paid them 500 gold back.
And
But yeah,
providing cleric services for the past 10 weeks to the people, the good people
Exactly.
of Northwind.
So yes, just wherever that would be, I just need to go pick it up for the road.
Okay. Let's see, where would that be? Probably. Your best bet would be the central market, unless you wanted to inquire Cornelius about it, because he also is a pretty high level wizard who would also, use gems for certain spells. So kind of two options there.
Maybe I could get Calliope to ask him. Be like, Calliope.
I'm sure he's not still super pissed at us.
I think
Is
he's
he?
really angry. He said he didn't want to see us in the city again until we brought him Diabras' head.
So he
Correctly.
might know. Okay, you know what? Well, I'll just go buy one. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't want my
We're making-
memories taken a second time.
I'm not trying to upset him.
I think we've already done that.
So, to the central market.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah, Chris, can I like finagle my pack so that way like Tiernan can fit back there? Because if not, then I need to buy something to.
Just like Tanjiro.
Mm-hmm.
Just send you a picture because you guys don't watch anime.
I know. We're
Need you
just
to
saying
understand.
gibberish to them right now.
Yeah, you'd probably have to affix your backpack somehow to account for little talons clinging along to it. Otherwise, he's just in leather, you know, or digging into your shoulders the whole time. But he does take a liking to you since you are the first person that he saw upon birth, upon hatch.
How does it work? Are we bonded, or does that wait until like? Aren't we?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
you definitely sense a bond. Even though he
Okay.
slept under your bed, and no matter what you would have rolled for animal handling, there is some sort of unspoken, unseen bond between the two of you.
Okay. Since I didn't have the book in front of me.
I'm so sorry, I stole it from you.
That's okay. That's fine. Okay. So I do need to buy something.
Probably, it'd probably be wise for you to travel with Solara into the central market of Northwind.
Okay.
Let's gar.
Let's go. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's what we need. We need a little box just like that.
Let me get a visual here.
For reference, Tanjiro carries his demon sister in the box because demons can't be in sunlight.
Yes.
And so he puts her in the box during the day because he's trying to save her. He's trying to turn her back to human.
And then he fights
It's
with her in the
really
box.
touching. It's an amazing, amazing.
And then she be popping out of the box at like the most clutch times to just
and
beat the
saves
crap
his,
out of
yeah.
people.
But she's never killed a human or
Incredible.
ate one. She's a good
Incredible.
demon. Yeah.
Okay, so you wanted like a little box like that with a little
Little
hatch that
backpack.
closes. Charlotte?
I mean, yeah, either that. Well, I mean, I don't want to hide him. That doesn't like. I don't want to close him off.
Yeah, just put him in like a bag with like an open.
Yeah. Just an open basket.
Yeah, or like a.
basket.
I mean,
Like a
he
crate.
was just kind of like squishing his eggshell. So I'm literally thinking of like a for lack of a better term, a shelf that he can just like sit and kind of like curl around my head so he can still see and he can still like be free. Because I'm also thinking he's not going to want to be held the whole time, so that way, like, if he wants to hop down and, like, walk for a little bit, he can. But just something that he can rest, because he's still a little baby.
Spoken
And he
like a
needs
true
to...
cat owner.
Little baby.
He's a little
He's just a
baby.
little guy. He's just a little
He's
tiny
just a little
guy.
baby. And so his
Okay.
legs are going to get tired. But he needs to walk a little bit.
Okay. Noted.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Noted.
And then potentially, if I get something made with enough leather, then I'm thinking that I can just keep that. And then when I get to level 3 and I can make a saddle for him, I can just reconfigure that into a saddle.
Okay.
Big brain.
That's my thought.
Yeah, because
process.
technically speaking, you do get to make a saddle at some point to ride him. But right now, he's a little too small to be with him. So,
He's just a little
he's just a little
baby.
guy.
He's just a little baby, right?
Oh my
Little
gosh,
baby.
Leia. What are you doing?
She says this
really
is
cute. That's the best.
my job.
Really cute this time to just be my dragon.
Alright, you make your way into town. I'm assuming all 4 of you are going, just kind of along for the ride, even if you're not shopping per se.
Valdrick loves a shopping montage.
Okay.
She's
Maybe just providing some light DOS loot music as they...
light DOS loot. Probably, stopping at stands and buying little stupid trinkets. any little child that tries to sell her bracelets. Like, you know, have you in New Orleans, those little kids will just run up to you and strap shit on you and then expect $1. Yeah, Valdrick is fallen prey to all of them.
Yeah.
Got bracelets all the way up to her elbows.
There's a little tiefling girl that runs up to you, completely red skin, and she has affixed to her tail is like all these like cricket-like insects that have been formed from palm fronds. So like these long palm fronds just tied into like a cricket, and she has them all like affixed on a rope, affixed to her tail, and they're all kind of jangling along as she runs along. And she runs up to you kind of expectantly, holding one up, and says, "Palm frond, cricket, only one silver piece.
Oh my god.
I made it myself.
Did you make this yourself?
I made it myself. Took me a long
god.
time. I made all of them.
That's incredible. I'll take 5. I'm gonna give her a gold piece for it.
5? A gold piece? Mama! Mama!
How would I describe that in my bag of holding?
Cricket made out of palm frond. Yeah. It's small, about that big. Size of maybe half a pencil. Size of a crayon. And yeah, you pop her a gold piece and... Thank you. And she takes her little leather pouch on her side and pops the gold piece in there and runs along to the next sale.
I'm gonna give one of the palm fronds to the dragon. What a little toy. Does somebody want a little cricket frond? A little friend for you?
Give me an animal handling again.
Somebody's getting bit by the dragon, but you know what? It's not gonna be me. That's 16 plus 6.
That works.
Okay, yeah, that does work. 22.
22. Okay, I think I got burned.
He kind of goes, flaps his wing twice, takes it in his teeth, and starts just kind of like pawing at it with his talons.
Tear it up. So good. I'm gonna put the rest in my bag.
Alright, Solara, we'll do your shopping first. Where would you...
Okay.
So you're looking for a gem worth 1,000
just
gold pieces?
or I guess a jewel worth at least 1,000 gold pieces. Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and make just a general charisma roll, because upon first glance, this is a big market. You don't really see off the bat like big jewel pieces. You see a lot of like makeshift, little trinkets here and there, but...
Okay, I got a 15.
Okay. After about an hour of just wandering around asking different people, some people ignore you. Some people are really excited to see you as they kind of know you now as one of the the clerics that have kind of walked around and helped out. Really trying their best to answer your question and point you in the right direction. Some of them point you towards some of the smaller vendors with smaller gems, but none of them worth 1,000. Unfortunately, you don't find any pieces worth 1,000. With a 15, though, you do come across one citizen of Northwind. He's a little gnome, and he says he knows you at this point. Maybe you have healed him or healed one of his family members the past couple weeks, but he says, "Oh, Solara, you're not going to find that in Northwind. Best bet is Westwind. Westwind's all the high-end paintings, all the high-end art, all the high-end jewels. It's in the middle of the desert. They've got plenty to sit on."
Alright. Well, I'll try my luck in Westwind. My bad.
And sometimes we get a shipment from Westwind if they're so courteous, but recently trade has not been great from the old desert city, so it's best I can do for you. Sorry, I wish I had a better answer for you.
No. Thank you for the heads up, though.
Well, thank you for healing me cousin's tail.
Oh, true. No problem.
Don't know what he'd do without you. Hope you're staying a bit longer. We've got a couple of other ailments that maybe you could take a look at if you're in the market. No pun
We
intended.
are leaving this, unfortunately leaving this afternoon. But if it's something quick, I'm sure I can help.
Oh, that's okay. I'll just visit one of the clerics in town, but figured I'd offer ye business first, since you are my favorite. Well, if you're ever back in town again, come on by. I'd love to see you again.
Of course. Thank you again. Thank you.
And thank you. He bows his little head and scurries off to finish filling up his basket with some produce for the day.
All right. Anya, do you have any luck yet?
I was gonna follow you and wait until you were done.
Anya. I guess. So I just kind of assumed Solara would kind of be the one to, if she doesn't see it, she would kind of ask around, especially since she's been making work in the city. Anya, are you that social that you would kind of ask around for something like this, or would you more like be introverted?
No, I'd probably just go to like the blacksmith, because I would assume that he would be able to he would either know someone who can work with leather, or either he could do it or he could point me in the right direction. And I've been to the blacksmith now a couple times and impressed him with my armor, so.
You have, and for some reason I have not added a blacksmith to the Northlands yet. Okay. You make your way to the blacksmith. What do you say?
I mean, I'm carrying Tiernan with me, so gonna tell him, hey, I'm looking for something that can allow me to carry this dragon with me, and kind of explain the shelf. Maybe a couple straps for when we're on the horse and it gets a little bumpy, with enough leather that in the future I could perhaps fashion it into a saddle, but something kind of along those lines.
Okay. He's clanging along to some bit of metal as you approach him, and he's not ignoring you. He kind of nods and listens to your request, hands the bit of metal off to one of his apprentices, and takes both of his gloves off, wipes his brow, leaves a big black smear across the forehead of his human form, and he says, "A mount for your dragon, you say? So, may I see the little guy?" And he kind of peeks around, I guess, wherever you have Tiernan. And he rolls an animal handling check. It is a natural 1. Holds his hand out.
He gets bit.
And Tiernan goes... takes a big chunk out of his hand.
Tiernan, this is a friend.
No,
On a natural 1, bad things happen. So I just happen to have a chance cube. Blue, he's good. Red, he loses a finger. It's blue. Lucky you. Big teeth sink into his finger. He does take a little bit of acidic damage as some steam, rises up from his finger. And he holds himself back from bopping it on the nose, and just takes a deep breath, closes his eyes, clenches his fists,
little babies,
starts to suck some of the acid off and spits it on the ground.
Baby or not, it's still a dragon.
That'll scar. I've had worse. So, the little guy needs to be tamed still. You got a bit of training to do, and this will help ye.
Yes.
Alright. Step back here a little bit. Let me take your measurements, and we'll see if we can fix something for you. Would you want it attached to your backpack, or something along the lines of more wooden or metal, or what did you have in mind? Something more versatile?
Thinking leather, so it's a little bit more comfortable. We're going to be traveling for a while. And then as he gets bigger, I'd like to make a saddle for him. So if I could repurpose this into a leather saddle.
He's kind of eyeballing you up as he's taking your measurements. He pulls out like an what's the word? Abacus? Abacus, and starts running some numbers, writing some stuff down, nodding his head as he's listening to you. A saddle would be much more intricate and hands-on. I don't know if I could turn this into a saddle per se, but I could definitely make you a mount until he's ready for a saddle, especially with him growing and all. I'm not sure what size it'll take. There'll be 2 separate projects, to be honest, but I can make the mount for you. It kind of looks around. You need some strong wood, mahogany, and he grabs some lumber. Mahogany wood. I'm thinking somehow affix the leather over top of the mahogany, give his talons some nice material to dig into. Material that's not me finger. And he kind of gives a stern scolding to the little dragon. And Tiernan kind of hides behind you, flinches, and then comes back out, and its eyes get real narrow. Yes, give me a bit, and I'll whip something up for you. How fast are you needing this?
As fast as possible. I can pay for expedited if need be.
Okay, well, I'm a businessman as well as a blacksmith, so good, fast, cheap, pick 2. You want good and fast? Not gonna be cheap.
That's fine. As I said, I can pay for expedited services.
Better enough. How's about... He glances at one of the apprentices who's up-and-coming, little 16-year-old teenage boy. Very sweaty, very hard at work. I can take on this project. Well, with your assistance, of course. That's me, boy. Alright, so we've got the help. Let's say... 200 gold pieces for the mount.
Fair enough.
I'll get started on it right away. And you hand him 200 gold pieces. And he says, best I can do is about 2 hours to give you the most pristine looking mount I can muster. 2 hours tops.
Sounds good. I'll return.
Alright. Boys, we've got an expedited item here. Forget all other priorities for the day. This is it. For the next 2 hours, I need all hands on this. You, and he starts handing out some orders of people accumulating the leather, people carving the wood, starts drawing out some blueprints really quick, and they just start going to work. So in the next 2 hours, what do you guys want to do? It's probably, you guys probably got up at a decent time, 7 or 8 in the morning. Spent some time in the market. You're probably made your way to the blacksmith around 10 a.m. So by noon it'll be ready.
When are we supposed to meet Xander? Noon?
So it should be like perfect.
It was pretty convenient. I forgot.
Dilly dally. Buy more trinkets. Trinkets.
Trinkets,
trinket boxes.
odds and ends, bits and bobs.
Yeah, bits and bobs for
Bits
doing
and bobs.
wizardry.
Okay, you find some trinkets. Alright, for the next 2 hours, you guys kind of kill time, walking the streets of Northwind. Is there anything you want to do more before we fast forward to noon? Any camping supplies you want to purchase? What is your supply at this point? if you guys are planning on traveling.
Yeah, it was at like 85, but I thought we were able to use the one spell. Where is it at? Hit third level. Yeah, create food or water, I think is what we had been rolling with for
Okay.
a while, yeah.
Yeah, that's
As long
fine.
as they have a third level spell. Don't just always save it.
Yep. Yeah, that definitely suffices. And that's a third level spell, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you were ever in need of saving a spell slot, then the camping supplies would provide that. But if not, you can continue to use that either way. However you guys want to work it is totally fine. So 85 camping supplies. No need to shop unless you would like to. We can fast forward to noon. You return. Anya, you you see laying there on a nice kind of leather tarp is a almost looks like a weather vane, a staff, much like a wizard's staff, but kind of maroon reddish in color with the fine finish on it, of this mahogany, nice sturdy staff, and it's got a crossbar over top that kind of twists and turns, really intricately carved, and affixed to it very neatly is two straps of black leather that kind of converge into a nice spine down the middle of this this staff kind of looking piece, and it's got like two belt buckles that you would assume would affix to your backpack or whatever, and he's a very sweaty blacksmith, but he says, "Well, here you are as promised. Welcome back. It's the best I could do given the time, but I think it'll work. Let me affix this for you. If you wouldn't mind, maybe you put the dragon on, and I'll just do the wooden affixing." And he starts buckling the buckles around your maybe some two carabiner like things on your backpack, and affixes it. Kind of gives it a good 1-2 shake. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't topple over, and it's pretty sturdy on your back. And he takes a step back as he does not want to get involved with Tiernan mounting it.
I'll kind of put Tiernan up, and I'll let him kind of explore and tell me what he thinks.
Yeah, he kind of nuzzles his head against one of the bars, kind of skitters across, hops a little bit from one end to the other, climbs down your spine, back up really quickly, gives you a little tickle, and lets out like a little bit of a squawk, and the blacksmith says, "Not sure if he likes it or if he hates it, but that's not me call. He looks like a happy little fella. Certainly not gonna bet him."
Mind to mind, I'll say, "Do you like it, Tiernan?"
Good. It's good.
He likes it. This is good craftsmanship.
Thank you. I can't take all the credit. This here, William, he does fine work for a little lad. Thank you, sir.
Excellent job. Thank you so much. I will be back here. I will come back to visit when we are back in the city.
I look forward to seeing you back. Maybe I won't try to touch the little fella next time. If you don't mind me asking, where did you find such a specimen? I haven't seen a pseudo-dragon. Well, quite some time. Maybe about a year or two since I saw one wander in the market.
Not a pseudo dragon. So it might be a bit bigger the next time.
La 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 la, I'm not hearing this. I'm not hearing this. There's not a dragon in the city. I know you're not about to tell me there's a dragon in the city. Be gone.
Yeah.
Before I have to write up the paperwork. And he goes back to just clanging. Any words you try to say, he tries to drown out with metal and metal.
Dragon.
Alright, I'll go meet up. I'm assuming, did everyone else go? And then I would come and meet them, so that way we're on time.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Did we care about that?
Do we even care?
I care, because he's the only information I have as to who sent me the
Look,
best
if he
gift
decides
ever.
to leave before we're there to help him get to the Feywild, it's his own damn choice, and he's stupid.
I would have gone.
I can't remember which... Where did you guys say you would meet up with him? Was it,
The High Court.
Oh, we have to
What?
show back up with the High Court.
Xander and Xerxes at the High Court? At the Grand
Mhm.
Hall? Okay.
Yeah. Not like in it, but outside of it.
Okay, fair enough. Alright. Yeah, you meet up outside the tall structure of the High Court. The tallest building, second tallest building in Northwind, the first being Wizard's Tower. Would now be a good time to take a break? Do you guys need to take a break? Potty break?
I have to potty so
Okay.
bad, yeah.
Okay, let's take a potty break and then we'll continue the conversation with Xander and Xerxes. So you all arrive at the Grand Hall. Just outside, you see Xander and Xerxes there, waiting. Xander kind of admiring his back turned to you all as you approach, admiring the incredible structure that is the Grand Hall of Northwind, where the High Court resides. Hands clasped behind his back. Xerxes just kind of playing bodyguard, Secret Service, looking for sloped roofs.
Gentlemen.
Looks over his shoulder, very Anakin-like, episode 2. Hands still clasped behind his back. Hello, wenches. And he looks Anya dead in the eyes.
Wait, I thought I was at the blacksmith still. Didn't I separate?
Oh, I mean, yeah, if you want to show up a little bit later, sure.
Yeah, I gotta make a dramatic entrance. You know how I be.
Okay. Hello, wenches. Where is the fourth?
It's a funny story. The little egg you gave us. It's a really good thing you gave it to us when you did, unless you're in the market for being a mummy. Because now Anya is. She's a little baby. A little baby dragon. So small.
He turns around at this point. Did it hatch now? Very interesting. Interesting indeed.
You say such strange things. If you said that to Anya, she would immediately interrogate you.
She has one for questions. Where is the little firecracker?
I'm gonna tell her that you said that, but she'll be here any minute.
Oh, I was talking about the dragon.
Yeah. The dragon will be here any minute too.
Not sure she's gonna like you talking about her dragon that way either, to be fair.
I'll take that risk. So,
Go ahead.
I'm assuming the dragon has either eaten her, or she's spending some time taming it.
Not much for being tame or being tamed. But Maybe, in a manner of speaking. Mostly she's just getting him a nice little perch. A little perch for her back.
He kind of glances at Xerxes, and Xerxes gives him a nostalgic look back. And he looks back at you and says, "So, our time here in Northwind has expired. I am ready to go, with or without you. Preferably with, because you're the only ones who have acquired the information about Genesis, so I hear."
Yeah. So truly, if you want to leave without me, I mean, where are you gonna go?
Touché.
Listen, I'm putting some pieces together here just based off of your little look that you just shared with your friend. Anya, a dragon. You, Xerxes, sexy man dragon over there, is that your... I don't know how this thing works. I don't want to place any, like, title or ownership on someone, but are you his dragon? Would that make you his mummy? In a matter of speaking.
We're more like brothers, Xerxes and I, and yes. Observant one, he is a dragon. He is my dragon. He is my brother.
Does your wingspan look like Xerxes? That's an inappropriate question. What kind of dragon are you, Xerxes? Is that inappropriate? Somebody.
Might be a little direct.
Xerxes just has the most blank, emotionless look on his face. Just kind of waiting for, like, orders from Xander. Not, like, wary or scared, or just the most stale, neutral face he can get.
Baldric deals with that every day from Anya and is unperturbed. You know, they used to call me Dragon Slayer Voldric, but as of late I've been thinking of changing that title to Dragon Lair Voldric, if you get my drift. Anyway.
A dragon's lair is the most dangerous place you can possibly be.
Don't get me. You and I, our energies, it's clashing. It's clashing so much.
Baldric is about to be the bardiest bard of all birds, and I roll to seduce the dragon.
Gonna fuck that dragon. How long have you two known each other? How long have you two been together? Long time?
Quite some time, yes. A long, long time. Xerxes and I. In fact, I can't remember a time that I haven't been with Xerxes.
But you're not like
since birth.
Not together. Not that I judge. I don't, Yeah, maybe.
We are bonded in a way that you wouldn't possibly understand.
Listen, I know something about bonds. You and I we're gonna get closer to each other, Xerxes. I can feel it. Do you feel that vibe? I can feel that vibe.
Blank stare, remain silent.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Xander's kind of chuckling to himself as he's picking up, and just he can sense that he knows Xerxes' face and his emotionless.
I love a man who is completely unreadable and doesn't speak. Both of these things, grade A for me. Where is Anya?
At which point, right on cue, Anya, you appear with little Tiernan attached to your back, affixed upon the newly made wooden leather makeshift stand made out of mahogany, sturdy wood. Tiernan has kind of found his place and is perched upon your right shoulder.
Well, are we ready to go?
You're late.
And yet you're still here, so no loss. Let's go.
To the horses.
Horses. I beg your pardon.
Oh, are you going to ride Xerxes? I would love to see that.
Well, we're not leaving our horses here.
You plan to travel to Genesis by horse? There's literally a skyport, not half a mile from here.
Can the horses go on the skyport?
You're gonna have to pry Solara.
Well, if they can't, you'll have to leave them behind.
I mean, if we have to leave Hakim, it's okay.
We could always leave them with the instructions that they're taken to our house once that's completed.
Oh, that's smart.
I was thinking with a big brain.
Ashley doesn't need to go to the wild. That's fine.
We're not gonna get to see Xerxes.
They could still happen. You never know.
Right. Well, then we have to go and give them instructions.
Hopefully your house isn't far from here, but that's none of my business. Now go do what you need to do. I'm assuming this involves a visit to the stables first, before we head off.
You know, I've never been in a, what is it called? Is it a sky bus?
Skyship.
A sky ship? I've never been in a sky ship before. I'm very excited.
I can't say that I have either, but I do know I am familiar with the skies and sky travel.
I bet you are. I bet you are. Alright, let's go.
Lead the way. And you all head to the stables, I'm assuming?
Yeah, to go initiate Anya's very big brain plan.
Alright, you make your way down to the stables, and there is the little halfling stable hand that snuck you into the jousting tournament known as Yenster, and he sees you come and does a double take as he's saddling up a horse for the day. Oh no, not again. For the last time. You're not. No.
Yes, sir!
I nearly lost my job. Nearly lost my life because of you lot. I nearly sold your horses right on the spot. You're lucky I've even fed them for the past couple of days. What could you possibly want here and make it quick? Please tell me you're taking your horses and you're getting lost.
About that.
Not quite.
Valdrick is going to attempt to persuade him, because I think that's immediately going to be what this takes.
Just a straight persuade?
Yeah, straight persuade, and just be like, we are going to get out of your hair, but the only way we are going to do that is if you can do us the biggest favor, and we'll pay you for it, of course, handsomely. We need our horses taken to our property once it has officially been crafted and created. We need them taken there because we're going on a very long journey. We care very much about our horses, you see. It's very, very important that they're well taken care of.
He runs his hair through his dirty blonde, or he runs his hand through his dirty blonde hair, and he says, you're lucky you've got the High Court on your side. Because if it was up to me, your horses would be released into the wild where they belong, not to be ridden by you lot. But luckily, you've got paperwork, and he pulls out some paperwork signed by the Emperor himself. I'm already 2 steps ahead of you. And you see your horses there kind of strapped with food on the sides, and he says, tomorrow, the Waydorian guard, that whatever, I don't know, all that's involved. All I know is your horses tomorrow are gone. They're supposed to be delivered by the security detail, blah blah blah, assigned to the Fate-born manor, whatever, blah blah blah. So, it's already taken care of. There's literally no more reason for you to be here. Now, please leave before I get in trouble again.
Hold on, but didn't you wager on me during the jousting?
I did. I made money on you.
Hmm.
And that's...
A lot of complaining for someone who got off pretty well because of what I did.
How many teeth do you have, Yenster?
And he tries to hide them under his lips.
You take good care of our horses, who mean so much to us after Anya won you lots and lots of money. Or I'm going to come back and I'm going to count those teeth myself. In or out of your mouth, truly.
Make an intimidation roll.
Yenster has a bad attitude.
No. I was hoping Anya was gonna threaten him.
A nat 20, but I have a plus 13.
You do be being mean.
I have
Honestly.
Yenster in the stable.
I'm just saying, he's threatening of releasing my horse into the wild. Like, he will die for that. He will
You know
die
what I've
for that.
learned, Yenster, is how to knock teeth out while leaving the root intact. Do you know how many teeth I pulled out?
Alright. I get your point.
Shaking
I
teeth
was-
jars on my body.
I wasn't about to let your horses into the wild. Now, I take good care of your horses. I take pride in the work that I do here. I love your horses. It's you I'm not quite fond of.
We hear that a lot,
But
actually.
of course, the next 24 hours, I will take immaculate care of your horses. Now, please leave me alone.
That's,
What can I ask for?
that's fair. I guess you can keep those teeth.
Well, thank the gods.
The whole root.
I can show you.
Oh, that's all right. Tell you what, forget the charge. No charge on me. Just your horses are in good care. They will be at your new house at the time that you expect them to. I am curious. Why are you not riding them there yourselves? None of my business.
Real long walk, Yenster. And like I said, we care a lot about our horses.
I would hope so. Alright, I've got some horses to feed, some people to see, so if you don't mind, I'd like to get back to my work, and I'm sure you would like to get back to yours.
Good to see you. Just a pleasure as always, Yenster.
And to you. And he does this massive, sarcastic bow down to the sand.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna trip him.
You're gonna trip him?
Yeah. He's already basically to the ground. All I have to do is just tip him over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, roll. Roll sleight of hand if you're tipping him over.
But you know what? He was so rude.
He was so rude, and for what? I rolled a 12.
Got a real bad attitude for a
All on his
dragon.
own decisions got him where he is.
Yeah.
He made money off of me.
You put your hand on his shoulder to try to tip him over. As he, actually, it's gonna be a contested roll. Okay, he does beat your roll. As he kind of pushes off, gets startled by your sudden aggression, and says, "All right, I'm going back to my work. You go back to yours, please. Can we just all relax, right? Your horses will be there. You'll be gone." Wherever you're going, for whatever reason, without your horses, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Off to the airship. Party on the airship.
Alright, off to the airship. You all travel then to the skyport. You make your way towards just the general district area, towards the front of the city. You notice this big circular tower that kind of cones to a bottom, but at the very top you see several ships kind of docked by the side of it, kind of just floating there, slowly up and down. You're not really sure how it's tethered, but there are a few ropes that tether it. But as far as keeping it afloat, it almost looks by magical means. It's quite a long walk, and it's on probably the most elevated part of Northwind. But you do see skyship travel to and from the skyport, more than you've noticed there recently. And you see just a main entrance, and this building's probably like maybe 8 stories high. I'm gonna send you all a picture for reference. Bing bong, there it is. That's the skyport. And you see one particular worker as you approach. For sake of time, you enter towards the bottom, and there's inside. It's just a massive spiral staircase that goes up. The staircase kind of goes along the edge of the circular building, and in the middle is this giant like elevator, or maybe a series of elevators that carry boxes and barrels of various goods and different shipments that are being by a pulley system. You see a couple of stronger half orcs and dwarves that typically work this pulley system, pulling some of them are loading it onto the elevator dock. Some of them are pulling it once it's full, and you're kind of traveling around the edges up this spiral staircase to the top, and you make it to the top, and on the edge again there's people unloading the dock, shipments, all these barrels and boxes, and they're all tagged, and there's a shipping clerk taking a look at the tags, kind of pointing directions. This one goes to that skyship, that one goes there, this one stays for us, signing paperwork, giving it back to the person. A couple voices shouting orders, but there's a main younger elven female who's doing most of the wrangling. She seems to be the skyship wrangler and seems to be in charge up here. What are you ladies doing? You're at the top.
I'm letting Xander lead the way. This was his idea.
Excuse
I suppose I have to tell him where we're trying to go, don't I?
Yeah, at some point, if you want. However you want to handle it.
I mean, do I need to tell him our destination before he speaks to the woman?
Yeah, it's up to you.
I'll let him speak to her first, and then I'll
interject
when or if needs be.
Excuse me, are you the clerk here? And she says, "What's it look like? I am very busy, so..." sorry, yes. Yes, I am the shipping clerk. What can I do for you? You looking to travel, or are you looking to perform your shipment duties? Oh, I'm here for travel, of course. Me and my companions, there are 6 of us in total, and we are looking to travel westward. Anywhere in particular westward? There's a lot of travel westward. I'm assuming the skyport to Karsh? Yes, Karsh. That sounds about right. What would you charge a fine gentleman like myself traveling to such a destination? Standard price, 5 gold pieces per mile. And to Karsh, you're looking at about a... She pulls out a map, does some mathing. About a 480 mile distance. Multiply. No, so 1 mile per 5 gold pieces. Sorry, I had that wrong. 1 gold piece per 5 miles, so you can do the math there. So 480 divided by 5, if anyone wants to. Don't worry, I got it. 96 gold. And that is for each traveler. So 96 gold per traveler. Yes, the funny looking one with the silly little loot in the back.
I have a DM question. Valdrick would immediately be like, who? Because I know you're not talking to me. How would I know how close Karsh is to where we ultimately need to get to?
On the map, you... Let me actually pull it up.
Is there one to Northshire? That looks closer.
Shut up.
Wish I could make this bigger on my screen.
So, you're in Northwind. Actually, let me... Wish I could do this without having to stop the music, but let me stop the music and share with you this screen. Make sure I'm not accidentally sharing my notes. Okay. So, can everyone see this?
Yeah.
Alright, so you are here. This is Northwind.
And we're going all the way that way.
You're going all the way west. This is what you read about in the ancient text that you stumbled upon in the restricted section, Vori. It's fabled that it is impossible to get there by land mainly because of the mountainous, snowy mountain conditions. It's like hiking several Everests and navigating through several Everests. And then they call this the Bay of Confusion for a reason. So it's also quite impossible to get by sea. So you would have to travel this way. She mentioned Karsh, which has a skyport. And you know, just general knowledge of travel, you don't have to make a roll. You know that typically skyports are like, you know, rent-a-cars. You travel to and from a skyport. You can't just like you can't be like, I want to go to freaking...
Not an Uber.
Yeah, it's not an Uber. I don't want to go to freaking West Hollow. No, you gotta go to the nearest skyport near West Hollow and travel the rest there.
So best bet would probably be to travel to Karsh and then ask around for a way to get to Vori. Someone to take us to Vori.
That's an idea.
Alright, Karsh it is. Valdrick's not gonna tell homies where ultimately we're going, because I still don't trust them.
Pull up the music there for you. Switch back. Alright, so do you butt into the conversation?
Nope.
Okay.
Except to say, gosh, sounds fantastic.
Gosh, sounds fantastic. He, over his shoulder, hears your requests, and he repeats the exact same words to the elven woman. Which, by the way, I never caught your name. My name is Sathra. It's literally of no importance to you, because all you are... Sorry, again. It's been a very busy past couple of weeks. To Karsh, yes, of course. 480 miles, that is 1 gold per 5 miles. Calculated to 96 gold pieces per traveler. You have 6 travelers. That is 500 and 76 gold pieces for the lot. Will you be paying in gold or platinum? And he kind of looks back at you all. Probably gold. I don't know the difference. Yes, gold pieces. All right, very well. Begin counting that out for me, and I will look for the next skyship to Kosh. If you'll give me a moment. And he kind of bows to her and turns back, and so the lady says 96 gold pieces per traveler. Closest skyport to Vori is Kosh. And we must all cough up 96 gold pieces. Does that sound reasonable to you all?
Would be a lot cheaper to take the horses, but yeah.
I agree, horses are much cheaper, but sky travel is much faster as the crow flies.
And we do love quick. And I've never been on an airship. I'm very excited.
We need to throw Anya in and start making bets again. I'm down to like 6 gold.
You only have 6 gold?
No, after the 96 that we have to take, yeah. Repairing my cloak was not cheap. I'm sorry, I have 9 gold.
700.
That's more than 6.
Voldric, Anya, Calliope, Solara. And you all turn around to see Lord and Lady Churnwood with a bunch of bags and luggage by their sides. And Lady Churnwood gives you all a relieved smile. You see that she is still a little stressed, still a little worried, and a look of relief washes over her face. And he says, "Are you all traveling, by chance, by skyship? And where to?
Yeah, baby.
Where are you all traveling to?"
Gosh, we heard it's great this time of year.
Well, it so happens that we are also traveling, but to Westwind. It took all morning to get my lovely bride here. She's still a little bit worried about the travel, and still is, quite, in fact. I have an idea. And, of course, my love, if this would put your mind at ease, what say we all travel together? We go to Kosh with the saviors of the city, and then from there travel to Westwind. You're worried about sky travel. They are heroes of the city. And she says, "Oh, I don't want to bother them with our presence, but it would put my mind at ease."
Saviors of Waydora, baby. Party on the airship.
Exactly. Party on the airship. You've been wanting to get away. We'll take this as more of a vacation before our political dues. And she.
Vacation with the Wenches, truly.
So to Kosh, it is a bit longer of travel, but it will make for a more safer travel. And she says, "Of course, yes, we should. To Kosh then. All right. Excuse me." And he kind of whistles over the Wrangler, and she says, "Yes, my lord. Where will you be traveling today?" Me and the missus are going to Kosh on a political endeavor, and the four ladies, lovely ladies behind me, are also going to be joining us on this endeavor, and we would like to cover their expenses. Oh, yes, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are a few spots open. Let me move some things around and make sure that you have enough comfortable room for you and Lady Churnwood. Just give me a moment. And he kind of turns around and gives you like a nod.
Nice. See, you won't have 9 gold after this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord and Lady Churnwood.
Of course. Well, you are all, I guess, on your own political endeavor of sorts. Why should it not be covered by the High Court? You can thank your beloved returned Emperor, as it is on his tab. Can't take all the credit.
And may he live nobly and long.
At this point, Xander kind of chimes in. Sorry. You said 4. Hello, my name is Xander. This is my companion Xerxes. We are also looking for passage to Karsh, and we are accompanying the lovely ladies you see before us. And he kind of gives him a look of like, is this the common riffraff of Northwind trying to hitch a ride? And he kind of looks back to you guys.
Go with us.
You don't have to pay for him, but unfortunately he does have to come with us.
Right, well, if he's part of your party, then of course, it is on the
Airship
it
party.
is on the tab as well. Yes. So why not all aboard? Sathra, 2 more, please. And she, yes, my lord, of course. Looks a little bit stressed, but takes the request.
Party on the airship. Valdrick takes her lute off her back and starts strumming it a little. Party on the airship. Party
I
on
love
the
that we were all
airship.
just prepared to
It's gonna
let
be so
them
much
pay
fun.
behind us. We were like, yeah.
I mean, what have they done first, lady?
He'll cover for us.
Except for
Let's let the
Xerxes.
two before us, behind us.
Xerxes does more for me than he knows. Isn't that right, Xerxes?
And he kind of
More who?
looks over at Xander, and Xander just is has his arms crossed, waves them off, and he
Right.
looks back at you just with a blank stare.
I'm gonna ask Xander.
Rascally
I'm gonna say,
fellow.
have you taught Xerxes to speak common?
I have.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
He knows a few words, and we don't do it often. Most of our speaking isn't even draconic. It's mostly telepathic, but sometimes he humors me.
Xerxes, say Voldrick. Voldrick.
I don't know that I did infantilize the dragon.
Not infantilizing him.
Xerxes, for the most part, you've noticed, has not taken his eye off of Tiernan. And Tiernan is kind of twitching his head back at Xerxes.
I like to think as we're traveling, I'm just telepathically telling Tiernan things that are important. Like, I would have said Xerxes is a dragon in human form. One day you'll be able to do that. Like, so I feel like I would have been narrating sort of to Tiernan.
Okay.
But I didn't say that. Yeah.
You're not sure if he picks up everything that you're telling him, but once in a while, as you kind of brush shoulders with Xerxes, he tries to sneak a sniff at Xerxes, and Xerxes cocks his head in the very same manner that Tiernan does a quick cock of his head. And there goes Max. Not Max.
My way.
Yeah.
The chimichangas. Wow.
They all start with that. It gets confusing sometimes.
I am a woman of pea-sized brain, and I need them all to go.
You're talking to the
so
girl
that
who sits over here. whose name
Mortimer,
also-
Mishka,
Yeah.
Mojo, Mogwai, Max.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Gotta keep those M names. And I have a
We'll
plethora
get
of
a
more M
Merlin.
names. Yeah, don't you worry, baby.
Okay. And then we threw Sirius
Got 'em
in
all
the
in
mix,
there.
who looks like two of them, and it gets extra confusing.
Amazing. Okay. So at this point, you guys are kind of making some small talk conversation amongst the 8 of you, now that you've picked up Lord and Lady Churnwood. And Sothra comes back, a little bit more sweat to her brow, beating upon her
God, this woman's stressed.
forehead. Yeah, she's got
Needs a
paperwork.
raise.
Yeah, she's
She's
too hard.
Needs a raise.
Yeah, she's she's reorganizing shipments that all were going to one ship and like taking them off, putting them on this this other ship, and then kind of looking at it, puzzled, shouts something, some sort of swear word in Elvish, so whoever speaks Elvish would pick up that she's cussing profusely, and a couple of the other dumber looking humans and half orcs kind of lowbrow drool, you know, like, no, you idiots, that goes there, this goes here, please, please. And she's like kind of hushed, trying not to let you guys hear, but she's whipping these workers into shape. Finally gets one of these ships ready. It's this nice, beautiful green skyship. It kind of looks like an arrow, like the back of an arrow with the feathers, 2 wings shooting out from the back of it. And you see a couple other airships with cannons and cannonballs, some ballista weaponry on them mounted to them. This one does not have any of those capabilities. It's all strictly shipment and travel based. Some of these skyships have to be modded to fit certain things, and with the cargo and the 8 new passengers that she wasn't ready for, she had to make some modifications, and presents this green skyship to you all and says, ladies and gentlemen, your chariot awaits. And Lord Churnwood says, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job, Sothra, and when we return, which God's willing we will, you will be getting the most fortunate race that the High Court can muster. Let me sign this document for you. And he starts signing away, basically a check from the High Court to her, and she says, "Oh, that's more than you owe for this. Please." "Oh, it's not on me. It's on the High Court. Please accept it. You've done more than enough work here today." She says, "Thank you, my lord. So if you all wouldn't mind, please board safely. It is a long drop if you make a misstep. And of course, our gentleman here will help you aboard to make sure that doesn't happen. Isn't that right?" And 2 half-orcs kind of give her a nod. And as they start helping Lord and Lady Churnwood onto the ship. It floats there, but there's a wooden board that's meant to kind of go with the floating. And you all board the skyship. Alright, the 8 of you make your way. 8 plus Tiernan. And Lady Churnwood at this point turns to you, Anya, and says, "Oh, is that wretched thing joining us? Excuse my language." And the Tiernan...
Shh, 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 shh. It's fine. She doesn't realize that inside thought came out.
Lord Churnwood gives her, like, the meanest death glare. "I'm sorry. My wife is just a little on edge about all things sky travel, so we will keep to ourselves. Your new companion, which did not appear before, will keep to itself, right?
Absolutely.
You didn't purchase that in the market, did you? I can't imagine that we're selling such things. No offense, it's a beautiful pseudo dragon, but can't imagine.
Yes. Yes, a lovely pseudo dragon. No, I acquired it by other means. I'm just gonna stare across at Xander.
And Xander says, "Yes, my lord. This is a fine specimen hailing from all the way from Westwind. And perhaps if we make it there, we can show you the caravan that sells such intricacies, oddities, such as the wonderful obsidian dragon. And Lady Churnwood, you have nothing to worry about. They are beautiful creatures once you get to know them." And he instinctually pets the bald black back head of Xerxes, and then awkwardly pulls his hand
gives
away.
a good nod.
So we'll be spending our days, next couple of days together. We might as well all get to know each other.
Dragon Leia Voldrick, some call me. Wench of Waydora. You ever heard of the Phantasmal Hollow Circus?
I start just pulling trinkets out of my bag. I'm pulling out bobbleheads of me, Anya, Solara, Calliope.
Who are you showing it to? The Churnwoods or?
Yeah, I'm just sharing. They want to know. I'm in it. There's one thing Valdrick's gonna do. It's overshare.
Lord Churnwood is taking a fascination to them as he bends down and kind of fascinating. Yes, this one. He picks up Solara's and he looks at it, puts it up to Solara's face. Make the face. Yes, that is excellent craftsmanship. Looks just like you. Yes, these are exquisite. Don't you think, darling? And he turns around, and Lady Churnwood is already found a seat on the farthest corner of the skyship, and is looks like she has a pail in front of her, and starts vomiting. And he says,
Get it all out, babe.
"We have not even taken off yet, and this is going to be a long trip. I'm glad we are in good company. Of course, my wife is perfectly good company, but you know what I mean."
Lady Churnwood, have you ever tried just drinking yourself into such a stupor that you just go night?
On 2 occasions. One, our wedding day. You remember? And 2, I'd rather not talk about.
What if we go 3 for 3 on this airship party, huh?
I could be convinced.
Alright, well when you're done with that, you come find me. And we're gonna fix you right up. We're
Do
gonna
they
do something.
sell alcohol on an airship? I've never traveled by airship before.
Baby.
There are multiple days, I would hope
I've
so.
never been on an airship, and I wasn't expecting to buy alcohol. I'm pulling flasks out of my bag of holding. I'm gonna surreptitiously lean forward with a really, really desperately grimy looking flask and be like, I put a little snacky in here, call them on your snackies. I cannot vouch for how long it's been in here, but I have in here for you, just in case, I don't want a staff to be in a situation where you need something we don't have it. No, and I got it. It might be a little warm. I think that's good though, right? Cold is bad. I don't know. But I have it, just in case.
Formula fast as well.
Lots of flasks.
I'm gonna grab that flask and grab a full bottle of something that you've pulled out, and I'm just gonna go sit in a corner with and like unstrap Tiernan and let Tiernan kind of. And I'm just gonna sit and prop my legs up and just start double fisting out of.
Make a Constitution check since you're just going straight at it as the crew now is boarding, finishing up their last bits of shipment.
Oh, we haven't even taken off yet? I don't know if I drink before we...
I mean...
No.
How long does it take for us to take off?
We just got down.
Yeah, you guys just boarded, and they're... I guess the shipment's all ready, and the crew's all ready, but they're just kind of now untethering the rope as you see what looks like the captain is doing some paperwork and some conversing with Sathra. Gives her a nod, hands her some paperwork. She hands him a sheet. He rolls it up, puts it into his vest, and he comes across the wooden board, pulls up the wooden board, and puts it back in its spot as you guys are completely untethered now. Turns around to you all and says, "Welcome aboard. I'm Captain Tush. Now, off to Karsh."
Pause. Did you say your name was Captain Tush?
Aye.
This is the best day I have ever had in my entire life.
Any jokes that you've ever thought of or ever will think of about my last name, I've heard tenfold.
Jokes.
So,
No
let's
jokes.
get them all out of the way. Let's hear it.
No jokes, Captain
You're
Tush.
ready for a limerick or a song.
I simply am in love with this entire experience.
And I am in love with the fact that you chose to come aboard Skyship Tush. Now, off to Kosh. And he goes, and there are sails that are similar to like a boat that you would find on the water. He starts, his crew starts unfurling them, but there is like a, gosh, I don't even know. Let me pull up this page here. There's they're more for aesthetic, as they just kind of look like fins to a shark on the back, but on the bottom of this ship you see him like kind of open up a hatch and start whispering some sort of incantation, and this giant crystal starts glowing as your ship goes from floating to now like rising up, and you kind of hear it humming to life, and it's glowing super brightly now, like this pink crystal, as the skyship starts to move, and you all kind of lurch forward, and you're almost expecting like the back and forth waves that you would in the ocean, but it's just a smooth line, much smoother than you were expecting, because there are no waves to kind of slosh you to and from. It's just smooth air as you set out. And Lord Churnwood has gone over to Lady Churnwood and is trying to console her. Anya's found her way to the back corner. It's a pretty small ship, but finds her way. There is a lower deck where there's a few tables and chairs set up to kind of hang out, eat, talk, play card games or whatever, but then there's also just kind of beds lining. There's captain's quarters underneath, as well as two, there's one separate private quarters next to the captain's quarters, and then there's just a main general room below the deck where the crew and you guys would probably sleep. Not much room on the skyship. The crew's probably maybe 3 or 4 dudes plus Captain Tush.
Good old Captain Tush. God bless him. I would give Lady Churnwood a little flasky flask of some sassy, a little sassy for her, just to get her off right, you know. Before, honestly, going to the main area and starting to play some limericks, probably that I'm making about Captain Tish, but in the most respectful, delightful manner.
Okay, you're going below deck to the main cabin.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Xander's kind of with Xerxes on the edge of the skyship. What's everyone else doing? Anya's drinking away.
You still need me to roll.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Is
I'm
this a saving
prob-
throw?
No.
Okay. I rolled a 12,
Can't even see me.
so not great.
He's tailing it.
12 total?
I was hoping I could. Yeah. I rolled a 4
Okay. So
plus 8.
Mystery booze from Valdrick's
How
bag
do you
of holding.
have a plus eight?
That's why I was asking if it was a saving throw, because I can re-roll a saving throw.
With a
yeah.
mixed bag of blood.
Yeah, I don't. I guess it would be, and it's not because I feel bad for your low roll, because I'm actually I'm double thinking it, and I think it would be a saving throw. So go ahead and roll again. I hope it's a natural one. Just kidding.
Ooh, it's a 19. Let's go with that. 19 plus 8.
Okay.
27.
Yeah, stone cold. Back there chugging. Calliope and Solara, what you guys doing?
I probably
think
followed Baldric.
I'm just like gonna get the best like spot where there's a good view and just like sightsee the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Such a Solara thing to do.
Where else am I gonna get to see it? The
Mojo,
world
can
from up
you
here again.
Please.
Yeah, you go up to, oh my gosh, that cat. You go up to the front of the ship, which comes to a point. So the entire ship is, the upper deck kind of looks like a triangle. The back, wide end is on the back towards the engine, the magically enchanted engine, and then the front comes to a point. And you kind of go up, find your way up there, and you hear from behind you, so, Solara, was it? Xander strikes up a conversation with you.
Yes. Yep.
At some point, I do need to speak with you all about what you found in the library. As fun as it is going blindly into the Feywild, I would like to know what I'm getting myself into. And how you plan on finding Genesis.
Can't
imagine.
I gotta tell you, yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm just going with the flow most of the time. I'm not gonna lie to you. I cannot fill you in on this plan. To be honest.
You see Xerxes.
If you really want to know, we don't know.
As you say, going with the flow, you see Xerxes over his shoulder, just kind of nodding his head, like.
Nothing but pure vibes from Solara.
And he says, "So, you're just as much in the dark as we are."
Oh yeah. We're, we know what we're doing. Things always just kind of work out in some way or another for us. It's kind of our thing, so I wouldn't worry as far as that. But just enjoy this flight. There's only so much we can figure out from up here, So don't stress yourselves. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
If only life were that easy for the rest of us, that things just happen to go our way.
Well, Yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna... I came up here for the view, so I don't really know what you...
And I will
It's
not
nice to...
keep you
Okay,
from your view.
thank you.
God.
Solara's really polite. Please get the fuck away from me.
Like, I
Solar
just
is
got
the
my
most
moment of silence.
introverted. Do
Yeah.
you not see what I deal with on
I
a
don't
daily
know
basis?
what the plan is. I just vibe.
He
Also view. Fuck off.
he says, I apologize for the intrusion. And he turns and walks. Xerxes, not getting the social cue, is still just standing there, slack jaw, kind of looking, just almost like too close to you. And Xander turns around, Xerxes, come along, and has to like pull him by the elbow. And he goes below deck.
I continue gazing across the landscape.
Yeah, and it is a beautiful sight to see from this distance. You're finally getting a top view sight down to Northwind as you're finishing crossing over it. You see the North River that cuts through Northwind, and it goes all the way down. You see how it widens and narrows in certain spots. You see the red forest that hugs it for most of the part. You might even be able to spot out the being so close as it is to Northwind, the big lake that is right beside Darkmoor East that you guys have visited, and you can kind of spot the lake and maybe make out the Darkmoor East building before you continue on. And it's mostly just nice grassland. Some of the trees have begun to change colors as it is coming to fall time, and you know that up here in the Northlands, Northwind specifically, it sees all 4 seasons, as a lot of the trees are changing colors to various oranges and reds and yellows, some green, until in not much time you can see what's called the frozen stretch, and it's just a tundra wasteland of snow and cold trees that stretch along the entire northern border of Waydora, and that's kind of where you guys are floating upon now, and might be the good time to grab your furs. And as the weather is getting not only cold but a bit thin, being so high up.
Yeah, fur it up, baby.
Time to look
My
fabulous
bare fit
while in
on.
armor.
Say that again, Mina.
I'd completely blanked now on what I said.
Okay.
You said you were putting your fur on.
Mm.
Time to look fabulous.
Oh, it's time to look fabulous with our fur and armor.
Okay, you're all looking fabulous. It is a bit warmer in the cabin without the wind whipping. And Xander goes down there and kind of just to no one in particular, does anyone have a plan for when we get to Genesis? Where exactly are we going?
Anya, do you want me to tell them?
Only what's necessary.
We're going to Vori.
Excellent. Where is Vori? Because as you know, as we all know, Vori is impossible to find.
Yeah. Around Kosh. Kinda near the Bay of Confusion.
Right. So you all plan on docking at Karsh and then walking to Vori, is that correct?
No. We're gonna get to what we're doing to get to Vori once we get to Kosh.
Well, according to the almost every cartographer around Waydora, if I'm not mistaken, we pass over Vori before we get to Karsh. So who's to stop us from jumping out?
Jumping out of this airship?
Absolutely, why not?
Because we don't want to die.
Listen, I know that Xerxes can pop wings, and you will ride him to victory any day, I'm sure. I cannot pop wings. Can you pop wings?
I can't pop wings.
Listen,
I would like to live. I've already died once, okay? I don't need to experience that again, thanks.
you tell me how we jump out of this airship safely and float carefully down to Vori, unless you plan on us all riding Xerxes to victory, which, mind you, I don't mind. I ask you again, Xerxes, what's that wingspan look like? How big are we talking here?
You needn't mind Xerxes and his capabilities. But you do make a good point. Xerxes can only carry me. As for the rest of you, we would need to find a way down there. And I'm sure your new friends, the Churnwoods, would not be too keen on you
Leaping from the deck of this airship.
early before they receive their protection or whatever it is that they need from you all. But I suppose we'd have to convince the captain to drop us off by some sort of means over top of Vori. Maybe we could convince him with some sort of deal or gold or...
My good friend Captain Tush.
Yes, it is quite the name.
Yeah. Well, if there's one thing I love, it's convincing people to do crazy and mildly to extremely dangerous shit.
Well, you've all managed to convince me to go on this wild adventure with you to the Feywild, so I have no doubt that you can convince a captain to hover over a spit of land.
Feel like I have no doubt it had a lot less to do with my convincing and a lot more to do with the way that you keep looking at Anya. But I will definitely go and have a conversation with dear Captain Tush.
You catch the slightest, faintest smile come across Xerxes' face as Xander shoots him a death glare, and Xerxes pretends like he wasn't paying attention and kind of looks up.
Xerxes gets me.
And
We get somewhere, you and me.
just kind of starts picking at a speck of dust on the ceiling of the cabin.
Best friends, Xerxes. You don't know it yet. What we're gonna be. Alright, I guess I'm gonna go and find... Fuck. First, I'm gonna convene with all the wenches. I want a group sesh right quick. Hey guys, crazy idea, and for once, not necessarily mine. What if, instead of landing in Kosh and then trying to figure out how to get through the Bay of Confusion, which, mind you, I do not fancy going through, and up on Vori, which apparently is impossible to get through, what if I tried to convince the beautiful Captain Tush to simply just drop us gently, carefully, floating, drop is a bad word, just to lower us down to Vori from here on Airship Tush, down to there.
I think,
Xander has
Baldric, even you have
Xerxes.
limits.
You have fly. Does anyone have featherfall?
Valdric's mother does, the night hag.
if I gently hold one of us upon my back? While I fly.
There's
Is there
still-
a weight limit on fly?
It would depend on your strength, I think, but
If I put on my gauntlets of strength, I put one of us on my back, and then I just hold the other 2 wenches.
That does seem like a bad idea.
What if we lower down on ropes to the ground from airship tush? I'm just tossing out ideas here.
for fly at higher levels, you can target one additional creature. So
How many?
What's the base level for
one
fly?
additional per spell slot. So at 4th level it's 2, 5th level it's 3, and so on.
So I could make all of us fly to the ground.
If you have a 6th level.
I do have a 6th level.
Oh.
Yeah, don't you like that?
That's
You like
even-
that, baby?
That's if the captain knows exactly where Vori is. Also,
How long does
The
fly
dwar-
last for?
10 minutes.
Oh.
Concentration.
What's
we
your
would have
also?
to tell the Churnwoods
Concentration.
because they paid for our tickets.
Well, you know, we've almost made it to Takash by that point. And we'll just tell them that, you know, it's been a great journey, but we have a sudden stop. And they will keep going, and then we will see them later, and they're fine. It's like a hop, skip, and a jump from Vori, from where they are, truly.
Fair. It's not the worst plan that we've ever had.
How we feel about flying, ladies?
Whatever. It's
Can
easier
Tiernan
this
fly?
way.
What'd you say, Charlotte?
Don't,
Tiernan can fly, right?
I
Yeah.
don't think he can carry
Yeah.
you though.
No, he can't carry me, but he can fly. That's
Okay.
my. I might die from fly or something like that, but Tiernan will not. That's my. I'm a mother
Okay.
now. I've got my priorities are now all shifted.
I
Priority.
irreparably damaged, maybe, but not die.
Do you have Misty Step too? I can always ping pong my way down with Misty Step.
We're in. Baldric's so
Sort of
excited.
all my way.
So what I'm hearing is we're 100% in, hovering above Vori, fly on all of us with the
If-
Norse loot,
They agree. If
freebird our way to the ground. Fantastic.
It's not like this could go horribly wrong. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not the
I
worst
think-
idea we've
I think
had,
the other
honestly.
question is Xander willing to give up Xerxes' identity as a dragon for this?
He came up. Okay. You know what? That's his choice.
What if he can transform halfway to the ground? He just climbs onto his back like a little piggyback.
Baldric, you'll get to see that wingspan.
Yeah, I will, baby. Don't you worry. I've got the mental capacity of a tape measurer, and I'm ready. Mentally, I'm gonna be able to
That's
check that
A
immediately.
weird thing to have, but okay then.
You'd be surprised how much that comes in handy.
I don't think I want to know when that's coming handy.
Alright, I guess I'm gonna go and talk to Captain Tush. That seems to be the next. Let me go convince the captain to let us jump off of his ship. 5-star rating all around. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna go find Captain Tush.
Alright, he's up there guiding basically just needs to guide the rudders of this skyship with kind of like a double joystick kind of thing. As you come up, he says, "A fine day for flying, isn't it? And a fine day for limericks. What have you come up for? What have you come up for me? I've heard 'em all."
No, Captain. I've got nothing but mad respect for you and your beautiful ship that holds your namesake. And speaking of being a beautiful name for flying, I have a question, and I'm not going to beat around the bush here, man. I'm just going to jump right into it. How much what would I have to do? Payment or just immortalizing you in song, whatever, whichever. What would I have to do for you to have over, let's say, I don't know, Vori, for example, and just allow us to potentially leap off the side of your ship?
He doesn't even look at you. He looks straight ahead, still at his destination, and just says, "Sounds like a lot of paperwork. What did you have in mind?"
Yeah, I will pay you whatever you're asking prices, within reason, to let us, and no paperwork, truly. I'll sign whatever you need us to sign that says that we've done this of our own accord, but what we're needing is to get into Vori, and that seems rather impossible, but a lot more possible if you were to say, just give us like 2 minutes of hover time above it as we launch over the side, and we will float safely to the ground. We will be perfectly fine. I have some magic for that, so you don't have to worry about us, and we'll give you glowing reviews. When we get back to Northwind, you guaranteed will have so much business.
He's sitting there, still dead-eyed ahead. Oh, what did you say your name was?
Voldrick, Dragon Slayer, Dragon Slayer.
Right, Layer of Dragons, Voldrick.
Yes.
Between you and me, this is not my first rodeo. You're not the first person to ask such a request, and you won't be the last. I can't say that the passengers before have survived the jump, or the fall, or however they made it down. I've done this plenty of times. I shouldn't say plenty. Once or twice before, to some crazies, and no doubt I had, when the second you and your lot stepped on my ship, I knew that you were crazies. Now listen.
That's so valid of you, Captain Tush.
I can make this maneuver, done it several times, but I can't guarantee your survival. If you're willing to accept this fate, no charge to you. This is just but a bump in the road for me. Slows me down by about 30 minutes. Not a problem. Now, I can't wait here for you. Once you're gone, you're gone. You're done. You're off me
I
ship.
wouldn't have it any other way.
And I'll write up the paperwork I know how to falsify documents. And that's the first time he takes his eyes off the air in front of him. But you didn't hear that from me. Especially around the two politicians. Which, by the way, how do you plan on doing that with them aboard? Are they coming with you? I can't imagine.
No, I might have to charm them a little or get them egregiously drunk, because I cannot see them being too
I think we just go.
willing.
Say, BRB.
BRB.
They're like, where'd they go?
Out the window of the airship, just launching towards the ground. Captain Tush, you are arguably one of the coolest men I've ever met in my life.
I know. Like I said, not my first rodeo. There's a reason why the saying is, "Oh, Vori, you can't go by land or sea." It makes everyone go, "Oh, well, how about by air? We'll get Captain Tush to do it. Captain Tush knows all. Captain Tush can drop them off. Captain Tush knows how to float above any sort of mountain or cavern or swamp or volcano." That was one time and one time only. I'll never do that again.
Seen a lot of shit, Captain Tush.
I've seen too much. Captain Tush will do it for you, and the crew, they're already on board. Literally. They've done it several times. That's why I keep my crew close to my chest, and I only got a crew of about 4 men. Won't have any more than these loyal crew.
You're incredible.
I know. I've survived 2 mutinies. Don't know why I told you that one. Don't get any funny ideas.
Don't you worry, we're not going to be here long enough to mutinize you, and I never would. How much time do we have before
I'd like to see you try, but...
Before in have a capacity, Captain.
Oh, a couple days. As the crow flies, we're looking at about... how long would it be? DM takes a minute to think. Travel speed. Let's say you guys are cruising along at 40 miles an hour. Maybe not that fast. Maybe 20 miles an hour. So that's about a day's travel. We'll be there this time tomorrow. You'll be floating over it by breakfast.
Fantastic. I'm just gonna go let my friends know that we are, in fact, going to jump off the side of your airship this time.
Maybe don't shout it from the rooftops. And any limericks you write about it, keep it to pen and paper before you start singing them off my ship.
Absolutely.
Maybe in midair. That'd make for a good story.
Oh,
get the adrenaline pumping. Yeah. Practically write itself at that point.
I'm gonna step my way back out of that cockpit and just look over at the wenches with two thumbs way up.
Oh god.
Woohoo!
Alright. Night falls. Is there any other conversing you would like to do?
I think I'm gonna wait till daytime to break the news to the Lord and Lady.
Okay. You all find
At some point I would talk to Xander about what to expect from raising a dragon, but I can have that conversation with you outside of session. But wherever that would fit in.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know it's midnight, so we can save it for the next session, but I would like it to be, like, during session so that we can have it recorded for lore purposes. And,
Lore!
for the lore of it all! But we will get to a good stopping point here, because I know it's midnight, so if there's nothing else...
Launching off the ship.
Yeah. Yeah, cliffhanger is literally jumping off the cliff. So you guys make your way to the underbelly of the ship. It is very refreshing from the cold bite that is the frozen stretch, the wind of the frozen stretch, about 10,000 feet above. It's not terribly comfortable, but you know, it suits. There's triple stacked bunk beds for you all to find rest in. The Churnwoods have their own private political suite, you know, or noble suite. Captain has his own captain's quarters, and you guys are sharing the room with 4 crewmen, 2 of which stay up for the night. There's one kind of backup captain that knows how to kind of fly during the easy parts, and the captain takes his 6-hour slumber while the backup crewmen, they find a good spot for him to just fly easily for 6 hours. And during that time, let's see, we can turn this down because you're not up top anymore. We can turn this down because we're going to put this up there. And Calliope.
Oh no.
You hear like almost like heavy breathing, like as if someone's just like looming over you in the middle of the night. You wake up to see the face of Diabras just staring at you with a smile on his face. And he says, "Hello, Calliope. Nice to see you again."
I don't like that at all. I think I would try to shove him off of me.
Okay.
Is it just his face? Or can I tell if there's, like,
it's
anything else?
Yeah, you wake up in a fright and just take a deep gasp, and you kind of jump back up against the wall of where your bed is, and he's kind of leaned down like this with his hands behind his back, smiles, and then kind of eases back. Do you still want to go to shove him? So it's his whole person.
Oh, I would probably scoot back as far as I could and go, "How are you here?"
That is a good question. One that doesn't actually matter. Why am I here? I am here on parlay. Are you familiar with the term?
I am. I think while this is going on, I haven't drank anything, but me and Baldric have those marks. I feel like I'm trying to push as much panic as I can through that length.
Yeah, are the rest of us, can we,
Are we, I'm assuming we're not all in the same room, are we?
You all are. All in the same room.
We all are.
The only people not in your room are the Churnwoods in their own noble suite, and the captain, who's snoring away in the captain's quarters. But you, as well as the two other crewmates, while the other two crewmates are up above deck doing crewmate things.
Okay. I don't want to cast any spells yet, but I feel like I'm pushing as much panic as I can towards Baldric. Why do you
Baldric's
want to?
out.
Yeah. Why do you want to parlay?
You have something I want. I have something you want. You have information on where my sons are.
I see.
And I am a scourge to your lands. What say you? We make a little deal. Tell me where they are now, and I will leave you all alone. You have my word.
Awakened the wrong wench.
Say.
really
You're
did?
gonna be like,
Do I feel anything down that bond?
yeah.
Can we roll to be roused? Awoken?
Rolled to be aroused.
Well, have either of you been drinking?
Baldric would probably have been drinking. Where she went to sleep 100%. Her little
I think-
night juice.
Okay.
I think Calliope would have had something that evening with dinner, most likely. I can't say how much I would have drank, but
I'll give it to you both. There was talk of party on the ship, so
Airship party.
I'll allow
Airship.
it. Go ahead and we'll make a roll to see if you're able to rouse her, because you are speaking down through the bond, but she's unconscious. Baldric's unconscious, so it is going to come down to a roll. Let's do a. What even would I have you roll for that? Man, I don't even know. Arcana? Yeah, because I mean it's a magical bond, so let's see how strong your magic is.
I love that.
I know. Arcana's a great choice for you, so you're
My
welcome.
Arcana is a +9.
Yeah.
Ooh, dirty 20.
30-20. Okay.
You've done well for me, Die.
Valdrick, you feel like you're having a very pleasant dream. You're you're dreaming of strumming your lute, and there is a miniature version of Captain Tush dancing along the strings. You're almost getting inspired by yourself, and you've got a smile on your face, and you do giggle once in a while in your sleep, just like that, and it immediately goes from like something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong, to the point where you wake up, your eyes shoot open, but you are absolutely paralyzed. You're not sure if it's sleep paralysis or what's going on, but at this point, now that you're awake, you can tell that Calliope's trying to get your attention. She's basically knocking on your mental door.
Can I speak at all? Is any noise able to be made?
Or thought towards me, honestly.
You are trying your hardest, but every single muscle in your entire body, other than your eyelids.
Yeah, I'm gonna point that down the bond and be like, I can't fucking move. I'm trying not to freak out right now, man. What the fuck's going on?
If I can feel it, I'll look at him and go, why would you think I know where your sons are? Why would I be the one to know where
your
sons are?
This is the first thing. Valdrick, you are able to relay that down the bond telepathically, and you pick up on the fact that Calliope can hear you, and she's also talking. You hear Calliope say, "Why would I know where your sons are?" And
because I'm trying not to say his name because I don't know that.
And so Valdrick, you were like, what is she talking? Because you still just jolted awake, and you're still kind of like, is this a nightmare? What is going on? So you're not even sure like who she's talking to, and then you hear the voice, Valdrick and Calliope, and he responds, "Because I know they have been traveling with you. I know that they have betrayed me for you and your circus and your stench. I know more than you think that I know, Calliope. I will not ask again."
Well, if you know that, then you know that they have both disappeared since you attacked the ballroom. We haven't heard from them in 2 months, more than 2 months. They ran off to who fucking knows where.
Do not lie to me, girl. And since you have been sending messages, go ahead and roll deception, because you are deceiving at this point.
I sent no messages.
That's true.
I think when you guys sent those messages, you all relayed that information of, this is where they are, Tivit's ravenous, blah, blah, blah. I believe so.
I don't think they told us where they were, though. So I'm not wrong in saying I don't know where they are.
Yeah, that's true, but you do know that Valdrick has been in
Can I fight to try to scream?
You can. No roll needed. You are horrifically paralyzed. Valdrick, go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
This is a fucking nightmare. Valdrick can't speak or make any sound. It's a nightmare.
That was a 12.
21.
Okay. Valdrick, you know that this is not sleep paralysis. You are being held against your will by some sort of magic.
This is not great.
And we will end our session there for the night and pick it up next week.
Oh shit.
Why me? He really did wake the wrong one.
He said, "You're the one." You're like, "I'm not though."
It's like, I actually don't know where they
It
are.
gives
I'm
Xander
not-
asking Solara questions. I'm the wrong person to ask this.
Yeah. Honestly.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I came up here for the views, and if you could
This is giving
not
me
be here,
Dar away.
Yeah.
car away.
See,
What was the creepy little guy in the circus that leaned over me and tried to murder me? Yes.
Oh yeah, Piddlewick.
Oh, yeah.
But 10 times worse.
Oh,
why are
man.
you
I
hitting
have
me
done
in my
this to you
back
already.
bag?
I'm so sorry.
I've also had this done to me though with this hag.
The night
Where
hag.
she
To
was,
be
I woke up to
fair-
her, the night hag.
Ethereally
straddling
straddling.
me.
Yeah.
Fix out of it.
Yeah, both
It's 10 times worse though.
both NPCs had the right conversation with the wrong wench, and that's just me trying to play as fair as possible. My characters don't know who the right person is to have the conversation with. Solara just happened to be up there. That was hilarious. Well played, Solara. And then
You know, Solara does seem like the mature, responsible one of our group.
Yeah.
So, she is. So theoretically, she would be the best choice.
Yeah.
In theory,
In
if it wasn't for
theory.
the fact that she's like, I literally,
She
I'm
chose
just
not
vibes.
to do anything.
I'm nothing
in that
but
realm.
vibes, bud.
I'm gonna
This
cast
energy
Guiding
I'm given-
Bolt.
I'm about
Tell
to
me
cast
where
Guiding
my
Bolt on your
sons
ass.
are. I don't actually know where your sons are, truthfully.
Tell me, or I'll not the buttons. Not my buttons.
That will be fun.
Well,
Until next time.
you know.
Look, if he's close enough, I don't actually think I have anything.
I was
that
gonna
would
say,
work.
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to the powerful demon lord?
I also just feel like anything
Well,
we like
Diabras?
even maybe could do is gonna be like, he's actually he's
That's my
resistant to that.
thing, Is that
He's
is he
got
actually
advantage.
here, or is he just projecting himself, and it's useless to try to do any spells?
Which is honestly a little bit scarier, because if he's powerful enough to shut Valdrick up, that's crazy. And he's not
True.
even there. That's insane.
There was the thought of trying to counterspell whatever was there, and I was like, he was
I also had the same.
a demon lord, though.
And we're in a very enclosed space, and everybody's asleep, and
Well,
we're all
also,
in the
like,
air.
just thinking about it, like, what would the spell level be for that? I don't think I would be able to reach it, to counterspell it.
what are you trying to counterspell?
Whatever the fuck he's.
Whatever the... 'cause you said
I
that
am
Baldur's
mass
being
hold
held down
person.
by magic.
Oh, the whole person? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could probably assume that all of us are being.
Yeah, everyone's being held
If
down.
he was smart, he would have all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, because Valdrick isn't even going to try to fight. Valdrick's going to immediately try to rouse everyone on the ship.
Yeah,
Like three.
and Valdrick, it was an automatic fail save since you were unconscious. So you weren't even able to roll because you were
Valdrick
held
was so deep in the
before.
little man dream. The little tush.
He was, yeah. I
You've
don't
almost
dream.
inspired yourself.
I don't know
Almost
where
inspired yourself.
I don't know where that name came from. It was just the first name that popped into my brain, and I'm like, please,
It's a
brain,
very Hickman
anything
thought.
anything other than Tush, and it's just like, best I can do is Tush. I'm like, all right, Captain Tush, there it is.
Best I can do is Tush of the airship Tush. And you know what?
Perfect.
His lore seems so deep and rich. I have so many questions to ask him, but we just don't have time. Because
He
I have to
was-
leap off the edge of his ship.
That character was snapped into existence the second he stepped onto the ship. I
He's
forgot to
going to end up in one of my worlds.
I forgot to plan the crew, and I was like, wait a minute, this skyship can't be piloted by them. They have to have a crew, and I literally had that thought while Sathra was
Putting us on their ship.
yes.
Putting us on.
So
airship.
all of that was from my bumhole.
What a
It was
beautiful
really
thing.
good.
You
You
know what it
shout out.
shows? It shows.
Yeah.
It
It
shows.
really, in the most beautiful way possible, because truly talking to him and having him be like, this isn't my first rodeo, I was like, I fucking believe it, Captain Tush. 100% I believe that you have hovered over Vori before and just had people launch off the side of your ship.
Never saw him
really-
again.
You know what,
I don't know if they
that's
made it or
actually-
not.
That man has been a youth pastor before. He's giving me youth pastor vibes.
He
Oh,
said,
Sounds like a lot of paperwork.
I
Bet,
don't even
let's do it.
need your money. I don't want any trace that this happened. I don't want you to talk to anyone about it.
Yep.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Okay. Goodbye. And yep. Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Bye.
Amber.
Goodbye!
What a perfect segue.